All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions here for a little bit. This is a football team, like we've talked about, a lot heading in the right direction. They finished off last season on a solid note. They made a lot of really smart moves already this offseason. We've highlighted it, a lot of them in some of our previous videos. But going into the weekend, the Detroit Lions had two reports that come out that may be the most important news involving the Lions organization so far this offseason. I think it's a great sign for the Detroit Lions. But before I get into that, Lions fans, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Like I alluded to, the Lions brought back a number of key figures in this organization. But I want to hear from you guys, which current Detroit Lion, not just player, coach, GM, executive, whoever it may be, what current member of the Detroit Lions organization do you think is the most important part? Give us the one guy that the Detroit Lions could not do without, whether it's Dan Campbell, Holmes, Jared Goff at the quarterback position, maybe a different player. Let me know who that guy is in the comment section below. Really interested to hear what your thoughts are on that. But all right, like I alluded to, the Detroit Lions have made a lot of moves already this offseason, mainly bringing back a lot of guys. The most notable, of course, is their offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson, who has done one heck of a job. This offense has done a great job turning Jared Goff's career around, which is probably his biggest accomplishment to date. But the Detroit Lions have been involved with a new story going into the weekend, is that they're bringing back their other defensive coordinator, of course, that is Aaron Glenn. This is according to Jeremy Fowler. I'm going to pull up the tweet right here. The Lions are signing defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn to a contract extension. So not just bringing him back, they're rewarding him with a contract extension. It's not done yet, but should be soon. Glenn, who interviewed for Arizona and Indianapolis head coaching jobs this cycle, is set to be extended for multiple years. So I think Aaron Glenn, obviously the defense at times last year wasn't great for Detroit. I think he did a pretty good job. I'm a fan of Aaron Glenn. I liked him as a player, kind of like his mentality as a coach. So the Lions bringing him back and extending him does make some sort of sense. However, when this news first broke, I did have to take a pause and be like, are the Lions doing everything right here? Kind of a little concerning because they seem to be trying to bring back guys, right? The Detroit Lions have done an outstanding job drafting and evaluating players, evaluating and bringing coaches into the fold, and building up a strong culture. One thing they haven't shown me yet is they haven't shown me the ability to be a cutthroat, tough business and remove players and remove coaches that aren't getting the job done in a brutal, precise way. Leaders on the team that aren't up to snuff anymore and moving past them and moving on to someone younger and better. And Aaron Glenn, who I think is a solid job, I think that there are a lot of other stronger defensive coordinator candidates. Vic Fangio is, of course, a big one. Vance Joseph's outstanding. Not taking anything away from Glenn here. I think those guys are just better. And the fact that the Lions were really focused on bringing back Aaron Glenn for a minute, I kind of paused. I was a little concerned that, I don't know, are the Lions too focused on just keeping the band together? You know, are they willing to make the tough, ruthless, cold-hearted decisions? And then literally 5 seconds later, this report came out. This is according to Adam Schefter. The Lions released defensive lineman Michael Brockers, saving $10 million against their salary cap. Michael Brockers, of course, is a veteran. He's 32 years old. He was a team captain last season. He's a team guy. He's a veteran guy. He's a defensive lineman. He's tough. He's physical. He's been around the block. You know, he's willing to do a lot of different things, play a lot of different roles for the team. He's a tough guy, smart guy. He is the Dan Campbell quintessential Detroit Lion kind of football player. And yet the Detroit Lions realized his production, his talent. I mean, the guy got no playing time by the end of the year. He's a shell of his former self, unfortunately. He was a great player when he was younger, but he's just not up to snuff anymore. And of course, his salary cap is much bigger. That's why the Lions saved $10 million cutting him. But this move right here shows me that the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, Holmes, all those guys are still willing and able to run this team like the ruthless, cold-hearted business you have to be successful. The Patriots did this for decades, won a lot of titles. The Chiefs have been doing this, by the way, very, very successful. Teams like the Eagles move off players. The Eagles drafted Carson Wentz top 5 and shipped him out, and then were happy to do it, right? Smart teams, good quality organizations that want to compete and win titles have to, when push comes to shove, they have to be cold, they have to be ruthless, they have to treat it like a business. And before this report came out, I thought the Lions were doing a lot of really smart things this offseason, but that was the one concern I had. Great culture, great developing coaches, great scouting and drafting rookies, right? Young team doing a great job. But could they be businesslike and tough when it came right down to it? And when it did, here, Michael Brockers, who wasn't playing anymore, wasn't good, wasn't nearly worth the salary. And obviously, it's a smart salary cap move to move off of him to save over $10 million. $10 million opens up a lot of space for him. When push came to shove, they made the move they had to make. That was the right business decision, both on the field and salary cap for the franchise, despite Brockers being a team guy, a team captain, all that kind of stuff. The fact that the Detroit Lions made this move right here is the most important move the Detroit Lions have made so far this offseason, and maybe the most important move since they brought Dan Campbell into the fold. I am that serious. This move shows me that they are willing to be, ruthless, cold-hearted, make it a meritocracy, the exact way it should be, the exact way top elite contenders in the NFL do it year in and year out. And if I'm a Lions fan, I'm sure you guys are sad to see Brockers go because I think he's a good guy, good team guy, all that kind of stuff. In the end, this move shows that the Lions are legitimately running for titles, and they are for real. This is huge for the Detroit Lions.